Hi, it's Dr. Turan, and you're listening to The Pop. The Pursuit of Peace podcast is brought to you by SP Consulting Group, where the mission is bringing your vision to life.
Are you all ready? We're here with The Pop, and we got a new guest. First of all, we are here with The Pop with yours truly, Dr. Sinead Turan. I'm getting all excited about our guest. But I just want you guys to know that last month was amazing. But guess what? This month is about to be even more of a next step into what we call finding peace. We were talking about servant leadership, and now we are ready to talk about being a mom, doing it all the way like a boss. I'm even wearing my shirt. I'm going to show y'all. The mom, the myth, the legend, Dr. Turan. So guess what?
Seen that shirt.
You saw the shirt, right?
Somewhere I did, yeah.
This is what you call sponsored by. Maybe one day I'll have my sponsors. I've been speaking stuff into existence and stuff been happening. But guess what? This is brought to you by Old Navy.
Yeah, that might have been where.
That might have been. Oh my goodness. You guys, guess what? We have a special guest, Mrs. Christina Garrett of Mama Thon Diaries.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, Dr. Sinead.
Oh my
respect
goodness.
on your name.
I've been telling people how it's so funny that I truly, it's like, depending on who it is, it's like, yeah, call me doctor. Otherwise,
yes,
it is what it is.
Yes.
You know, some people even call me name, but it is what the T.I. is.
Yes.
So we are ready. So first of all, let me just tell you guys a little bit about my situation first. My situation is, if y'all see people walking around in the background, like so, or people driving in the background, I'm in a hotel, but guess what? I'm a mom. And guess what this session is about? Being a mom and being a boss. How about that? So, let me tell y'all about Miss Christina Garrett. Okay? Let me tell you. First of all, she is not only the founder of Mama Thon Diaries, but she is actually like an organization and productivity coach who helps busy women like me empower their discipline and refine their schedules. But she doesn't just do that. She uses the power of like delegation and priority management. I mean, she literally schedules all of us busy women, because I don't know any woman that isn't busy, from faith. Like there's some power in this, okay?
Yes.
To streamline your schedules, use it with like practical strategies. And you know, this is the pop, so it's the pursuit of peace. It has to make sense, right? But it's supposed to all be for the purpose of getting more done, but doing it strategically so that you're doing less. You know, that whole work smarter, not harder thing. But she literally, like Mrs. Garrett, literally, and I'm putting respect on that, Mrs. Christina Garrett leads a global tribe of, like, not just women. Like I said, folks like me. We wives. We out here doing it. We are the moms, the myths, and the legends, okay, to build in the help that we need, you know? So basically, it's all about making sure that you're taking charge. Taking charge of your schedule. Taking charge of just everything. That's just crazy. And I just want to let y'all know, like, she got a tribe of divas, so that's why I had to put my glam Linux on today. As I ran out the house with my little one screaming at the door, I had to say, let me make sure I got enough magnet eyeliner on here.
You're so extra.
So extra, because I had to be, because you have a tribe of divas. And I'm going to let her truly tell you a little bit more about herself. But welcome to The Pop.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. You know, the first time we talked, we just hit it off. So, you know, that doesn't happen with everybody, especially for me, you know, or if you're a woman in leadership, you know, you don't get that synergy with everybody. But we got on the Zoom call and it was like magic. And so, we've been looking forward to this time for a while.
Absolute magic. Let me just say
that.
Okay.
Absolute magic.
Absolute magic. So when it's all said and done, folks, we about to go in. I want to tell you guys, I got to read it off because, I'm a mama. So it's not like this stuff just be stuck on the dome. So listen, we're talking about you're trying to, and I'm going to say it the way that it came to me in my head, even though I was trying to be phonetically correct. Mm-hmm. It said, you trying to do what? Well, how many kids?
A lot. 5.
A lot. So that's what we're talking about today. And it really is just the month of August. I was about to say September.
We're not there yet.
But the whole title of this month is really, we're going to be talking about the busy woman's guide to peace. Mm-hmm. This is the pursuit of peace.
Yes.
We need special stuff to figure it out because we're always giving and doing stuff. And so this is what you call unscripted with the illustrious Mrs. Christine Garrett of Mamathon Diaries. Please tell us a bit more about yourself, your journey, and let's just jump right into it.
Well, the Mamathon movement really stemmed back from when I was a mom of 3. When my son was your son's age, I found out I was expecting, went to the doctor. What's hilarious, God has a sense of humor because I told my husband I only wanted to be pregnant one more time. My husband said, but I want 3 kids. So the way that God solved that problem was we went to the doctor with our almost 2-year-old and, the ultrasound tech is looking at the sonogram. She said, how many do you see? I said, are those eyes? Can you see the baby's eyes already? And she said, no, honey, those are babies. And then we practically passed out for a while. When we came back to, I was a mom with 3 kids, 2 and under. And so I literally went from, mommy and thinking that I was doing okay to being in fast forward what seemed like all the time. So once the twins got older, maybe age 1, age 2, I really wanted to find practical ways to feel like myself again. Yeah. Because when we're always taking care of children and we're nurturing and giving, sometimes we do feel like we've gone through an identity crisis. Yeah. Because you've gone from woman, then you've adjusted to being a wife if you're a wife. But then that adjustment to being a mom is one that really goes up against every element of your femininity, So what I like to tell the ladies that God calls you by name, he calls you Shanae, or maybe he calls you Nay, I don't know, he calls you Chris, he doesn't call us by babe or mom or all the other names that our family members call us or our friends know us by. He knows us intimately, so what we have to do after we've hit this point in a journey is to continue with that search for God, who are you saying that I am for this season of my life? And for all the Mamathon divas, I think that there's and this may be too deep too early, but I think there's a worldly stigma behind hustling and grinding where we begin to look at the people that God has blessed us to be stewardship over or companions with. We begin to look at them like they're keeping us from being our best selves, and that is the hustle mindset, what I'm saying? Like what the world begins to teach, And so we're like, go get it, go do this. Oh girl, he wants you to lay down at night. Tell him that you want to grow your business and all this other. It's like, no, he don't want the bed cold. That's why he married you,
Right.
So we have to adjust. Like we have to figure out how to do both. That's what my sister says, even though it's reversed. I do both. I hustle and I homemade. It's okay for me to be both of those women. Yeah. So for the Mamathon mission, we really surround our women with the techniques that it takes to be a woman in all the full senses that means, to be a wife or love your man or your partner well, and to mother those children without feeling like you're a martyr for the cause. And somehow, in between all of that, we're supposed to build dreams. And if you're not 6 or 7 figures yet, you are failing, and all these things. Then they throw homeschooling at you if you're not an algebra genius like me. You're just trying to pull it together. You're just trying to put it together. Okay, not to be an algebra genius. You get there. So it's okay for me to know my lane well. It's all right for me to be able to walk in what I know, and still love myself and nurture myself and practice self-care in my pursuit of peace.
Wow. So this is the thing. You and, again, folks like me, that's why I was like, I got to have you on there, because it's like I get like a 2-for-1 deal when we're sitting here. Yes. It's like, how can you truly balance it all? And can you? Like, what does that really look like?
Okay, so really they'll say balance is a myth. I like the term sometimes juggling, or, there are a million terms, but we tell our ladies that it's all right to be a multitasker.
Yeah.
I don't know any woman other than the times where I'm sitting here with us, doing an interview or a live or just connecting with my audience. I don't know any other times where we're just still doing absolutely nothing else. And it takes a lot of effort to make sure that we are that way. And so I just want to normalize and celebrate that we are women who juggle. You know what I mean? And it's okay for you to, some days I'm cooking dinner and exercising, so like in between the sets, like at 30 seconds, you go stir the pot, and then you go back and you just do it again. I don't know anybody, that doesn't, and you do it too in your own way. Where it's like, okay, son, I'm going to sit here and do this puzzle with you. And, you do the puzzle and mommy's going to check her email or send this invoice. I don't know who, women who are not multitasking, not boss women. You know what I mean? It's always one thing and then it's another. But I think that one core principle that has helped me, especially during the pandemic, is learning how to turn it off at a certain time.
Yeah.
I had to turn it off at a certain time.
That's what's hard, because, again, you're going and going and going, and you do need a certain momentum, so to speak, to keep it going. Because I know, like, for me, and mind you, I'm someone that, as I had shared with you when we were talking, I'm someone that also has a medical condition. And so it's like, if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to do all that multitasking, I need to keep going. And by a certain time in the day, it's like, if it's not done, it's probably not going to happen. The most time that I have is, let me get a book that I know I read 50, 11 times.
Yes.
That I memorize, that I'm reading to my son and go to sleep. But when it's all said and done, if you're stopping and you're juggling, and even if I were to say this, juggling it all and maintaining my energy, how does that fit into it?
Okay, so let's think about how we spend our energy. Okay, I call this watering plants. I don't know if you can see behind me. Yes. I'm a plant person. This is just 2 of the 25 that are spread out throughout my house. Okay, so I'm a plant person. I would much rather pot and repot my plants and stare at them and water them, and that speaks to my soul, and it's nurturing, and I just love it. Wonderful. But nobody is paying me to water plants. No one is paying me to water those plants, okay? So watering plants is synergistic with all the other things that we do that alleviate pressure from us, pressure to perform. So let's say that, especially for women who are business women, you run your own business, you're the person in charge. If you work a 9 to 5 or whatever, if you answer to someone, whoever you are, okay, you have some kind of work life associated with you most likely. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you work. So there are certain things that we go to do that there's no for real reward. It's not bringing the biggest return for us. I often say that unless you operate a cleaning service No one is paying you to vacuum. No one is paying you to, do all the things. I know laundry has to get done. I understand it, but laundry doesn't pay invoices either. So what do I need to do to start my day? What is level 1, 2, 3, 4? Those top things that are going to bring me closest to my goals. And so inadvertently, your subconscious may avoid calling those potential clients because you're afraid they're going to say no. You may think that, doing what your boss asks you is going to take too long. So I'm going to go over here and do something that takes less time, but it's not really at the top of the priority. You know what I mean? So there's no such thing as ever getting everything done. But what is the biggest priority as it comes to dealing with our home life, our business life, our families? And so I may say, oh, yeah, I need to scrub all this and do all the things, but that doesn't pay bills. So what is it that I need to do instead of that? And then hopefully I can promise you that a husband, when the bills are paid, where y'all doing it together or however, he's been well sexed, okay, because you saved your energy for sex instead of doing I did all the laundry. He don't care about the laundry. He will wash his own clothes and he's getting some. So the whole moral of the story is what's on the top of the list of priorities? What's on the top of the list? I would much rather water plants. I would much rather water plants, but nobody pays me to do that. Some days my house is half dirty. When my husband walks in the door, I say, hey, babe. He said, oh, good, she's in a good mood today. The kids did not run her away today. You know what I mean? And I can be the best version of Christina. He doesn't care about the dishes. He doesn't care about the Cheerios in the floor, all those things. If he comes in, his wife is his wife, So a lot of times we think about juggling, balancing, multitasking. The bigger question is what's at the top of the list? And what can I delegate to my family members? What can I pay somebody to do? If you don't operate a cleaning service, pay somebody to come in and do it for you if you can. If you have school-age children who can play on tablets, they can vacuum. Delegate, and those things that you can't delegate is what you have to put first.
And I love the fact that there's the sense of balance, because that's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah.
The whole point is to balance it out so that when it's all said and done, you're not, and this is something that I struggle with, those of us that have that perfectionist, mindset, like everything has to be perfect. Things have to be just right, and it's like when it's all said and done, the ultimate thing is moving forward, sane, and it even goes into how, and I really love the fact that you're talking in this lane, because ultimately we say multitasking, but there's some things that you just can't do well multitasking. I do believe that there is such thing as multitasking, because I can literally, if my son, for instance, if it's like, he's wanting those little bristle blocks, so it's like, he wants a plane. And so he gonna do whatever he's gonna do while you're sitting alongside him. And I can be putting together a little plane and listening to a podcast that's going to help enhance, whatever in regards to my business and just that intellectual growth that maybe I wouldn't have time to do later on, because he is wanting me to read. And so listening to a podcast, really, or TED Talk, and also trying to read, that you can't do well.
Yes.
But it's really about how do you minimize that pressure that you put on yourself to be perfect, the pressure that you put on yourself to be like, you know what, I got to do it all. I know that I've been in that place too of, okay, well, the house has to be clean. I'm going to be sane and smile. Dinner. And it's like, when it's all said and done, out of 4 of those things, 1 might be working, which is I'm sane. Or you coming in and I'm coming like, what you want? What you want?
Yeah, right. Why are you here?
Can I be in my home?
I live here. No, you can't.
Let me tell you, it was like an out of body experience for me. And I would try to like have my, okay, I'm breastfeeding, right? When I had my 2-year-old, it's like he was breastfed, and it was like my husband would come home, and it's like, you know, hey, how you doing? And it's just like, one time, let me tell you, I was like, can I have a moment? Because I haven't felt in my skin since like, I'm an individual. And I don't feel like I am because I'm always like this or other side or, you know, hope and then bouncing while I'm doing this. And it's just like, give me a second. And it's all said and done. Like you said, what's the priority? No one is able to give me that time. No one.
So one of the things that I continue to infuse, especially women who are wives and their moms, and they have, all of us are individuals, right? So like you said, I haven't felt like myself since I got pregnant. My mother-in-law yesterday was joking about us having another baby. I said, Ma, I love God. Please do not make me cuss on this phone. I can't have no more kids. I just can't do it. I can't have not one more child. But, you know, I love my side.
One more time?
Not one more.
I thought you said one more. I was
not one more baby through this here body.
I was gonna say,
if somebody drop one off at my house, I might keep the baby. But if it had to come out of my womb, I cannot. So the moral of the story is, though, being able to communicate your needs in a way that your significant other can receive and respond to. Receive it and respond to. The same way that your love language is insert it here. That's the best way to speak to you. Every person has a way, a time, a meal, you know what I mean, where, you know, like, listen, baby, I made your favorite enchiladas tonight. I need to talk to you. You know, I need a day off. You know? And to express that, I was working with a client one time, and she was like, my husband just isn't hearing me. I said, no, you need to make him something really good to eat. Put it in front and say, baby, I love you. I love our children. But if I don't get a break, I'm going to have a psychotic break. And then
you're using I statements. I love it.
And you look him dead in his eyes like, I really don't want to have a breakdown. I need some time off. And he's going to look like, what? Okay, this is very direct. It's very straight to the point. And 9 times out of 10, you married that man. Whoever these ladies are listening tonight, you married that man because you liked him. You loved him. You genuinely, even despite all of the hiccups and rough things that you went through in your relationship and all these things, you know, the highs and lows that we all go through, okay? You married him because you genuinely believe that he had your best interest at heart when you married him. They said that he was looking out for you, for your family, and he would make an excellent father. All of these, this is why you gave him the sex. That's what Kevin on stage would say. You know, that's why you... That's why you did what you did, girl. Lock them on in there.
I just want to say for the record that we did say this was not kid friendly. This was for
we checked that box.
And both of us on here are married, so it's thank you, Jesus. We're being appropriate.
Amen.
That's what I'm saying.
So the moral of the story is, I'm going to tell everybody, you a mama, you done the sex. So anyway. So the moral of the story is being able to speak to him in a way that he can receive, right? You're using your tone in a way that is building. Your attitude isn't, I can't stand you nor these kids and I'm leaving. I have had those days where I just walked out though. I ain't gonna lie. But for the most part, when I need a break or I need to step away or my husband sees that my eyes starting to twitch and all this things like, baby, listen, just go for a run. Go run to the city, 30 minutes away and get ice cream or whatever those things are that you need to do to take care of you. You know, and we have to normalize in husbands, in wives, and in children that it's okay to be left alone. You know, and to train them to do that.
And when it's all said and done, you're doing that for the sake of balance. We're not saying one takes. And even when you're saying the priorities, and you writing that down. For some, that's necessary. For some, it's like, you just need to let some things go. Like you said, like, I'll get to the plants, the flowers.
Yes.
Like, they got a little bit of time before they start trying to get brown on the edge. So
yes,
they can get water tomorrow. But you just like shift it. And it's okay to be organized. And I just want to stress that, because some people, whether it's we do it to ourselves, or it's the spouse or the partner, or even, family, if someone isn't married, if someone is a single mom, whatever the case may be, from those internal thoughts outward, it's like, oh, well, if I do this later, I'm saying it's not a big priority. That's not always the case. When you are prioritizing, you want to realize that the priority is based around what needs to be done today. Are there any fires? If this doesn't get done, will there be a situation? If there won't be a situation, then it can just
be rolled over.
For some, they like to hear that concept of put it on the parking lot.
I like that.
Put it on the parking lot. I'll get to it. That way you are saying, you know what? And that's another thing too, communication.
Yeah.
You are prioritizing. And again, like you said, there is always that intention that when it's said and done, your needs are important. And you expect that your loved ones feel the same way. However, we're not mind readers, and neither are they. So the best thing that you can do is learn how to communicate. So I know you had touched on this a little bit earlier about just being upfront and honest. Can you talk a little bit even about that transaction of whether it's a partner, just a loved one, a roommate, a friend, when you're saying, okay, I'm a mom, I'm taking care of these kids, I'm a boss, I may even have a 9 to 5 where I'm also a boss.
Yes.
You know, and making sure that you're speaking up for yourself so that you can get to that place of finding that peace zone. Like, what are you
Okay, so one of the things that I think of is to make it easy. Okay, make it easy for you to leave. So, for example, every year, my best friend Leona, who also is a mom of 5, every year for the last 5 years, we have 5 to 6 years, we have taken a momcation. Okay, now if you can imagine,
you need to take me with you. Keep on going.
Listen, come on down to Atlanta in September. So
my
here's the thing.
In Atlanta.
Listen, we're not playing. Like, I'm being so serious. My ladies, I thought about canceling, and my girls were like, "If you host a conference at your house, we're just coming to your house." They're like, "Because we gotta leave these kids. We have to leave these kids." And I was like, okay, like, if you guys are coming, I'm going to plan it. So, even in the midst of everything, we go pull some masks, and we'll go hiking, and we leave it. We leave
the hand sanitizer.
Yes. So the moral of the story is, every year, my best friend and I, we take some kind of momcation. The last 4 years has been for the Momathon conference, but the 2 years prior to that, either one time I was pregnant, one time she was pregnant. But our husbands have supported by keeping all the kids 6, 7, 8 now. Now it would be 10 kids. Keeping all the kids while we go away for the weekend. Okay. So here's the key to leaving home. Number 1, you have to make it easy. Okay. So if you're going, listen, you got to make it easy. So, and what we're going to do here is we're going to say, well, he should want to keep the kids. He should want to do all the things that fathers do. He should want to. We don't want to do it as moms. I don't want to feed you. I don't want to, get up and clean up. None of these things are items on my list of things that I want to do. Okay. So here's what I try to do to make it easy for me to leave. All right. I will make my husband a bomb dinner. Let's say I'm going, sometimes the mama times we go to the movies or just leave the house, group of ladies, hang out, go get food. We're leaving. This is what we do. We say, kids. Listen, we leave. So if my husband, there were a couple times where I made like hot dogs and french fries, and he said, whenever you have ladies night out, I get the worst dinners. And I was like, I said, you know what, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm rushing out the door. Yay, I'm leaving. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So when I leave now, I make him whatever it is that he really loves to eat. The kids
up on the board.
Mix the floor for all I care. But Sugar Daddy, who probably came home early so I could leave on time, okay? Yeah. He gets oxtails and rice with cabbage or whatever it is that he wants. Make him something good and then give those kids that melatonin gummy, send them off to sleep, make it easy for dad to chill.
Oh my goodness,
because in reality,
nuggets right here.
In reality, he does not want to hear your mouth about how tired you are, how you need a night off. Go get the night. You stay here, watch the game, hear your wings, baby. I love you, Sugar Daddy. And when I come home, step number 2 is you drop it like it's hot. All right? Now, you should, of course, we don't always feel like this is what your flesh say, and this is what your girlfriends who are single say. They say, well, you shouldn't have to do all that to get a night off. You shouldn't have to do all of these things. But don't men bring flowers? Don't men do just a little something extra to say, you know what, baby? You're mine, and I thank you for what you do. And don't we love when we get cards? Don't we love when we get those extra adorations? For men, a lot of husbands, they just want to get some with just a little bit of extra sugar on it. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, we want that. And and even to take it a little bit to the side, just for a second, when it comes down to it, everybody, not just us, and I think that it's important that as we take care of ourselves and we feel better, we don't feel, and this is a message for the men and the women, just so you know, disclaimer. When we feel better, we do better.
Yes.
So when it's all said and done, like, yes, men, we want the random flowers, not just when something went awry. Like, I need some white catalysts, mixed in with some roses, and, hint, hint. And then it's like, okay, I want this, but then the way it makes me feel, and then think about how it feels when you're stressed. So, women, think about how it feels when you're stressed. It may not have anything to do with the relationship, anything to do with the kids. It may have to do with work. We're talking about our women that are on a marathon, mamathons, okay? And we just going and going and going, and we just need to be filled back up with the adoration, with the attention, and we just pour it out. Like, whatever is whatever is your love language, when it's all said and done, the men want it too. And it's almost like this cycle when you are in that relationship. And I want to be clear, we're talking about marriage, but also for those that aren't married, that are single moms for whatever reason, and they're dealing with this too. And how do I get that support from my mom? I know I often ask her to watch my kids or my sister, the aunt or the friend. And it's just like, girl, what you want? Mom, what you want? How can we work it out to where there's a balance? Yeah. Because ultimately, the end goal is I can do better when I'm better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll add to that, is taking responsibility. So this was something that really helped me.
I like that.
That really helped me in my relationship with my husband, in my relationship with my in-laws, you know what I mean? And all these dynamics where maybe the family members kept other people's kids, but I had the turbo twins, right? I had the turbo twins.
I ain't keeping 2 of them.
We're not signing up. All of a sudden, everybody's too busy. No, I'm too old to keep them. No. Okay, listen.
Oh, my head.
My head. I know I had the turbo twins. I get it, So for a while, I'll be a little salty. You know what I'm saying? And we can be resentful to whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever. So one of the things that rolling from those experiences even to now, we have the ability to design our own lives, okay? We're allowed to design our lives, our present day, our destiny, all those things. Brian Tracy will say, if it's to be, it's up to me, right?
Yeah.
So if I am salty and it's hindering on my relationship with my mother, sister, best friend, all these people, husband, whoever, okay, so you know what? My husband works on Saturdays. So when I go away for the conference weekend, how am I going to be mad at him for not taking off work to watch the kids? You already know that this is the family schedule. You already know.
Again, where's the priority?
Yes. Yes. So,
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
So here's where I'm going. Make it easy on you. Take responsibility that these are your children. You did the sex. You had the fun. They're yours. And even if it's, you know, with your husband or certain expectations, make it easy. So you may have to hustle a little extra, sis, to pay for that sitter.
Yeah.
I got to get a sitter for all of conference weekend.
Yeah.
All day Friday, all day Saturday. My husband's home on Sundays, you know. I got to take responsibility. This is my thing. Yeah. If you want to go out and have fun, that's your thing. And you have to have time away from your kids. Yeah. So you need to own responsibility that nobody else has to take care of them. And your husband, if he's working, it's not even his responsibility at that moment that all of a sudden you want to go out and do something fun. And now you have an attitude and you're upset. Get the sitter. You know what I mean? Make it easy. Just do what you need to do to step away and not let it impact all your other relationships.
And there's even intentionally the planning. Yes. Okay, we get it when it's something last minute, and you know your girlfriends, especially those that are single.
Yes,
they can do a lot of stuff that's last minute. But those of us that are moms, we can be. Let me not even say that because some people are out here struggling for real. So my apologies in advance. But seriously, it's known that moms have to plan because we plan around the kids' mood, their poop cycle, their eat cycle, every cycle, their tantrum cycle, because we know it's about to be time for that. We do all of that planning. So again, like you said, I love it. Take responsibility because again, Pursuit of Peace, the pop. What are you doing? We can be on here offering all kinds of gems. That doesn't mean that you're going to do it. But if you take responsibility and do it intentionally, that's what we're talking about. Intentionally organizing, intentionally scheduling, putting some structure on it. And if you know that you're an extrovert and you got to be out often, granted it's the pandemic, but you can plan these things. Hey, every other week, this is what I'm going to try to do. And I'm going to have my A, B, C, an XYZ plan, just in case. You know, like somebody that you texting, like, I haven't heard from so-and-so, so I might need you. You know, whatever it is, regardless of your situation of how stable this person was, your babysitter, you have a babysitter, or you have a nanny. You know, that would be nice one day to have. But if you don't have that, even your nanny could be like, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm not coming. And what you gonna be mad because they sick? And then, my plans all real. And then you got an attitude and then it just affects the whole house. But being able to learn by doing it and practicing it is big on setting precedents for a habit. Because it all sounds nice, but until you consistently try it, work out the kinks so that you have your sure fit A, B, and C plans, it's going to be a wash and you're going to be upset. And like you said, like that's so important. You end up building up resentment because you don't have it. But something that I love that you had mentioned, that I wanted to bring out here is when it's all said and done, what is God saying is important. What is God saying is like, how do you pull in God into the conversation to say, I may not have the mindset for this, maybe for whatever reason, you know, you have chaos in your head, pandemic. So I'm walking around here like this, like everything going crazy. But what is important? How do I need to ground myself? You know, one thing for sure is God says, you know, be anxious for nothing. You know, so it's like, okay, well, what is bringing that anxiety on? And if I can't figure it out, who are you going to get that source of clarity to how to manipulate the situation in a way to transform your situation, right? Because when it's all said and done, we can't have folks getting up to the point where they burned out.
Right, absolutely. And so you know, one thing that I love what you said when we're thinking of what God says is important, right? One day you will not be here. We pray that we'll be 99 and we'll just blow away like on Avengers Infinity War, right? We hope that we'll be old as dust and we'll just fade away, one day when we finally go. But you don't know when you're going to go, right?
You don't.
So here's the thing. One day, God is going to ask you, did you take care of X, Y, and Z? And most likely at the top of that list is going to be your family.
Yeah.
We can say, and I it's kind of laughable, we're living our purpose, all this like real illustrious, almost makes you feel like you float above the floor. Everything is a prophetic move, all this kind of stuff. But you better prophesy that laundry done. You better sometimes everything is so spiritual, so hyper spiritual that we have to, Proverbs chapter 14 is one of my favorite scriptures, because verse 1 says, a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hands, right? But then when you go down to like verse 4, it's an agriculture type scripture, but it took me a second and it kind of clicked in my mind. And I don't have the exact phrasing, but it says something related to, if you have an oxen, right, you will have to clean the stable. You can avoid cleaning the stable if you don't have an oxen. But without the oxen and the dirty stable, you will get no harvest.
It's all about stewardship.
Yes.
It's stewardship. It's like if you can't, look, this is even, and I know you know this, because I'm sure your husband talked about it being in the ministry. If you can't take care of home, what is she doing? Like, I don't even know what else to put to that, because it's just like, if you haven't, there's nothing else that can come next. Like, what you are doing at home and in your household. And again, for those that are single, they're single parents, they're still on the, they're still writing their mamathon.
Yes.
They're doing this, but when it's all said and done, if you have no husband, no spouse, no partner, nothing like that, and you have the kid, you then have to take responsibility of yourself. Take care of yourself, because when it's all said and done, those kids can't watch themselves.
Yeah, that's so true.
If you off mentally, you stressed out, you're burned out, because I am doing a course on burnout, okay? If you are burned out, you are not good for anybody else, because one of the biggest signs of burnout is a lot of the symptoms that you start to list off when it comes down to depression and not even caring. You list in things that you were previously interested in. You're, sitting up there not doing and performing as well. So if you have kids that are, this is your job. This is the job that God gave you, to take care of kids. And you can't do that stressed out. You can't do that spazzing off, because then what are you doing? Perpetuating a cycle of anxiety, stress, or for some, unfortunately, abuse? No. You need to take responsibility and say, you know what? It's not being selfish. It is being in a space of self-love and self-care.
Absolutely. And when we're thinking about, what God says is important, one thing that is key is, number one, like I said, you will not always be here. So one day God will ask you, what did you do with the things that I gave you to steward over? But number two is, your family is going to be left behind after you're gone. Right? So what do I want them to say about me after I am gone? So when I'm thinking about the moms who are now homeschooling and they're frazzled and all these things, it's like, well, wait a second. I was telling another girl who also has 5 kids, so you better watch your circle, because everybody I know got a lot of children. So anyway, but we were talking about home disconnect. So one of she has 5 children. She's starting a homeschooling journey, and I was just emphasizing relationship and respect over education every day. So if I can say, between me and my husband and me and my children, we emphasize having a healthy relationship. Not me being able to teach you everything and always being right or all of these things. But in reality, my kids are gonna, unfold my story when they grow up and they get married and they have kids. What do I want them to repeat? You know what I mean? Are they going to need therapy to get rid of it? Or are they going to say, man, you know what, my mom, she would stop what she was doing and do this. So we would just go out and have fun, just go hiking or just go do random stuff. She would cancel school quick if it was a beautiful day outside, and we would just go enjoy ourselves. Yeah. I've been one of those neurotic moms where literally I have a picture of a spoon and a paperclip. I talk about it in my home organization. And so I had a picture of a spoon and a paperclip that was on the floor, and this was years ago, I went off. And I was like, y'all don't keep nothing clean. Y'all don't respect me. It was like a whole breakdown. And I stopped and laughed at myself and took a picture of the spoon paper. I think it was like a rubber band. It was like 3 tiny little things put together. It was probably a toddler playing with it on the floor. And, but I was like, y'all don't ever do anything. I've been cleaning all day. Just crazy. And so I have to learn how to tone it down. I had to learn how to do it, and adjust your expectations because your kids will repeat who you are, how you talk to them, and all that kind of stuff. You see yourself in your children. And so what we want to do is create a legacy, that shows the beauty of human relationships and connection, and, that they saw their parents love on each other. I told them it's okay for you to step away if you don't feel like being bothered. Just go in my room and sit on my bed for a while and draw or watch a movie or whatever so that you can be by yourself. Yeah. We have to normalize good, healthy connections. Absolutely. And even on those times when I need to step away, I'm honoring and respecting, who you are as a person. Yeah. And that means I expect the same thing from me too. And so that might be me. I don't have kids walking on me in the shower anymore. I have 5 children, y'all. And I had to pop off maybe the baby, because he a thug. He ain't learned yet. But he went.
Crip walking into the
coming in, mama. Point at the toilet. Stop. Don't do that. But my older children, I'm like, there's no reason in the world why anybody over age 3 should be walking in on you naked while you're using the bathroom or doing any of this stuff, because we have to teach them boundaries and limitations and respect, So I've been known to grab that bottle of shampoo and do it. Call it off. You know what I mean? Like, just lose your mind. It only take about 2 or 3 times before they're like, my mama is crazy and I will not walk in on the bathroom anymore. Right. No more. I'm not going to do it anymore. And that just helps to foster in them people need space. I can't go to the bathroom without you walking in. Like,
all I'm going to say, do not try this at home.
What I said. I ain't say hit the baby with the bottle of shampoo. I said hit the door. And they gonna say, oh my gosh, my mama is crazy. But there got to be a happy medium. Yeah. Of old school mom with new school mom. Where, our mamas or mom, like, they will have an all white living room. My mother-in-law to this day has a all light colored living room. You bet not. And everybody would ask, how do you keep your white couch white? And she said, okay, they know better than to go in there. That's my sitting room.
Definitely.
And she ain't but 5'2", and you better know she will cut you.
No one goes in there. And if
nobody goes in.
Sneak in, and my grandmother has that white room. And if I try to go in there with some pie, it don't matter how grown I am, I will, if I take a step, I'll be like, you know what? Back out. I don't even do the turnaround, because then I don't want nothing to just accidentally spill.
Exactly. Exactly. So, there's these boundaries. Everybody has a way that their mama wanted things. Yeah. Your children should be no less. They say, my mama did not play about boom, boom, boom. She did not play about you just gonna leave your dish sitting there. You're gonna at least put it in the sink. Even the 2-year-old can put his dish in the sink.
Rants it all.
Rants that dish. So we have to, be loving enough to implement those same things into our children, say, all right, I want to build you up, but not at the cost of losing myself, and that's what's important in our pursuit of peace.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to just ask if you have a couple of tips. We have about 9 minutes. Mm-hmm. But just share with us a few tips that you have for, in general, if They don't remember nothing else because they busy and they got 50 million things to do. The kid been hitting them in the head with the shoe while they was trying to watch this. What are some things that you can recommend for our moms, our single moms, moms with, a spouse, to truly help them with managing their self-care, their stress, and all of their responsibilities?
Well, I can think of a couple right off the top. Number one is what I call the Mamathon 5-tier to-do list. Okay?
All right.
And so the moral of this entire picture is envisioning yourself where you want to be in 5 years. Okay. This big, beautiful picture, however big it is, where are you going? What's the mission? What's the dream? Can you envision yourself in this position? In 5 years, I'll be sending a kid off to college. Like, what is that about? It's going to happen to you too. Like, you will not be ready. So, in 5 years, my life is going to be making a shift, right? So where I want to be in 5 years. And then we take that 5-year dream, completely enthralled with how much money I want to make, the position I'm going to have, what kind of woman I'm going to be. And then we will wind it all the way back to what do I need to work on this week and this month? Okay. So what I usually do with clients is we kind of map it out with bullet points even. Okay. We're going to, all right, so 5 years, great. What do you need to be in 1 year? Closer to that 5-year plan. What do I need to be at the end of this quarter?
Right.
To get closer. Where do I need to be at the end of this month? We kind of rewind it all the way back. So, but really start with that 5-year goal. And it can be as outrageous and as ridiculous as you want it to be. Have you never run a day in your life, but now you want to do an ultra marathon? Write it down. I know your knees are a little special. Write it down. It's okay to dream big, okay? So that's number one. Number two, you're silly. Number two is I would recommend declaring your home base zone, okay? Your home base zone comes out of a book I have that's called The House That Cleans Itself by Mindy Starnes Clark. Okay. House That Cleans Itself by Mindy Starnes Clark. And in the book, she talks about something called a home base zone. The home base zone is that area of your home where when it's clean, you feel euphoric, you experience clarity, you love walking through it. And it's like, yeah, girl, I hooked that space up. You love this particular area. It could be in your room, it could be a closet, it could be your kitchen. For everybody, it may be something different, a different space. But I want to encourage you to clean it up. Whatever space that is, clean it up. If there's clutter there, pick the clutter up and move it to a different area. Just get it together, okay? So in my home base zone, that's my living room, dining room area in my house, right? I hate walking out in the morning and there's stuff everywhere. It's like oatmeal for my kids. I'm like, I don't even know why I had y'all. So I want to encourage, especially the women, because husbands care, but women really care. And a lot of times our peace is disturbed by, things space not being the way because our space is cluttered and, we're not able to operate just visually. I don't feel clarity there. And so your home base zone is the area when it's clean, you feel clarity, euphoric, but when it's dirty, you feel frustrated, stuck, you're irritated by it. You may not even be able to know that that's why you're irritated, but it is. So I want to encourage the ladies watching to clean up that area, okay? And then demand that it stays that way. All right. Now my husband, it's almost 8:00 here in Alabama. I don't know what time he's coming home tonight, okay? So, because he's a barber, so everybody's getting club ready, even in the mask. Somewhere this weekend. So he works late Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Okay. So when he walks in the door, though, I'm able to adjust my expectations. Some women say, "Oh, he came in, he dropped his shoes on the floor, his pants, whatever." It's not those two items. It's the fact that everything in that area is jacked up. That now you're lashing out at him because he dropped those 1 or 2 items. That's silly. Instead, let's clean that area up. And that his shoes on the floor does not bother me because, everything else in that space is together. And so lastly, on the journey to, just experiencing more clarity and peace, really internalize what you want in terms of self-awareness.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what you want, no one can give it to you. If you don't know how to tell your children, leave me alone for this amount of time, they won't know to give it to you. If you don't train them on how to stay where they are for an hour or 2 hours and do not come in until I emerge from this interview, they will not know to do it.
So you mean to tell me you didn't have anybody to do it?
There's nobody out there babysitting my children. You bet not come in here while I'm still doing, this is what it is. Mama working. Mama working, especially if, this is where we are now in terms of pandemic and everything,
You need that
space. You have to have that space. You have to.
I love it. And just to even throw in there and add to what you were saying when you were talking about lastly, making sure that you are really aware.
Yeah.
To add to that is once you become aware, manage it. Yeah. Self-awareness does really good with self-management.
Yeah.
You can't just know better and think you just gonna automatically do better. For those that are sort of nerds like me, that's called the G.I. Joe fallacy theory. Just because you know better don't mean that you do better. So make sure that you listen to these nuggets. We're gonna end up having to have you back on here,
and I got these.
We need to have some more talks. But I am just so grateful for the nuggets, y'all. If y'all forgot what she just said, I'm gonna make y'all go visit her. Y'all gotta go check her out.
Come on.
Because we're not on here trying to stress ourselves out. I say it's almost time. We honor our time, okay?
Yes.
And it is 2 minutes to the hour. So how about this? Tell them in 1 minute how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Mamathon Diaries. And you can always check out my services and events and all the awesome stuff at runningamamathon.com. We specialize in being a tribe of wise women who build, of helping professional women and mompreneurs to streamline and just get their whole life together without going completely gray. So come find me.
And you got 30 seconds because you got an event coming up. Tell them about your event.
I do. So the Mamathon Conference this year is going to be both virtual and in person.
All right.
We are a very small group of women into a gigantic ballroom at a beautiful 5-star retreat hotel. And we're just going to really break it down. We're going to run away from home because I think that's all they really want is to leave.
Yeah.
And so even if you can only attend virtually, you can get your ticket at runningamamathon.com, and we will be sending out self-care boxes to every attendee. So no matter how you attend, whether in person, you get digital and product swag. Yes. So we would love to connect with you guys and host you.
Listen, visit her, check her out. And if you have any questions, you didn't get to write it down, visit us at and I'm going to say www.theofficialstconsultinggroup.com. That's www.officialstconsultinggroup.com. And guess what? We'll be back next Friday. So see you guys. It's the top of the hour. Thank you so much for being here, Ms. Garrett. I so appreciate you.
And thank you so much for having me.